UFL fans and spring football fans. Well, what a start to week 5 we have had. The first few weeks were all slow, a little bit on the boring side, not much scoring, but since week 3, the play has gotten better and better and better, and the teams are been playing with there's a lot more parity. Not because all the teams are better, all the teams are good, but because the competition is that tough. We'll start with what I thought was the game of the year last night, the Fox Friday night game where Memphis, the Showboats, full speed ahead. They finally get a win. They beat the 3-time champion Birmingham Stallions 24-20 in the game's first ever, the UFL League's first ever overtime game. They win 24-20 before just under 9,000 people, just under 10,000 people showed up for Protective Stadium. And I'm going to say it again, it's pretty pathetic for a 3-time team. The Birmingham Fire and the Birmingham Iron of the other leagues drew more people. Now, Memphis pretty much had control of the game, just about the whole game, really. I mean, I wouldn't say they dominated, they really didn't, but 323 yards to 274 for Birmingham. They dominated the air. The Stallions dominated the ground. Time of possession was almost even at 30 minutes apiece. Case Cookis, who I think should have been the starter over Matty Corral anyway. Not a bad game. 15-30, 345 yards, 2 touchdowns and deception. Dresser Wynn in his first start, 17-29 for 235 yards and a touchdown. Very good game for him. Of course, this game was dominated by really, really big plays. I mean, first when you had the first score on Memphis on that long touchdown pass there, and of course probably the play of the year had it been Isaiah Henney's kick 6 return, 108 yards for a touchdown at the end of the half. I seriously doubt, as far as the play itself goes, forget whether the game's going to mean anything or not in the grand scope of things, or what it ends up meaning. A kick 6 for 108 yards, that's pretty damn good. And of course, at the end of the game, when Birmingham scored a touchdown with 25 seconds left, and you're like, okay, well, they still have to convert the 2-point conversion. Then they do convert the 2-point conversion. It's like, oh my goodness, is Memphis going to blow this game also? Is Birmingham going to find a way to steal this game? And of course, at the end of the half day, there was a long completion there on the left sideline. They attempt a 57-yard kick. It is no good. They go into overtime. Best of 3 on the 2-point conversions. Memphis scores the 2-point conversion because of a penalty on roughing the quarterback. So by rule, even though they didn't convert it because there was a roughing the quarterback on that play, they're awarded 2 points. Case Cookers went 0 for 2. Dresser Wynn got the final 2-point play, and the Stallions win a game. And a game they really needed. I'm telling you, it's not a game they really needed. A game the league really needed. It is not good in an 18 league to have a team go 0-5. And for them to get their win against the Birmingham Stallions, bravo, Birmingham. Bravo. Great job. Now, I do hope I see Case Cookers play next week over Matty Corral. I just think he's a better quarterback. Matty Corral, to me, is just too up and down for me. I mean, when he's hot, he's hot. When he's cold, oh, God, he looks terrible. But I thought that was the game of the year last night, the first overtime game. Until today's game at the Battle Dome, where over 30,000 people show up again. St. Louis fans, you guys are awesome. That atmosphere today was electric. Great job. And I'm telling you, this rival between the game last year between Michigan and St. Louis, even though they're in different conferences, you could argue right now this is probably the best interconference rivalry because of the two games they played. Where last year you had Jake Bates make the 60-plus yard field goal to win, and of course this game had 5-6 different lead changes. Max Duggan looked like the older runner-up to the Heisman Trophy, like he did at TCU, and Bryce Perkins had another real good game. And by the way, to Mike Nolan, I don't know if you're one of those woke coaches, you want to give everyone a chance, but my goodness, can we just keep Danny Etling on the bench unless Bryce Perkins gets hurt bad, or maybe has a game where he throws 3 pick-6? Because you brought him for one series, he killed one of your drives with an interception. It ruined a scoring opportunity for you, and it might have ruined the game for you. Okay, why would you take a guy out who's been the offensive player of the week not once but 2 times in a row this year, and might have gotten the 3rd time if they had won this game? Why are you bothering with Danny Etling? Please, for the love of football, for the love of Michigan football, and for the love of the league, can we just leave Bryce Perkins in there until he proves he can't do it anymore? Leave him on the bench. Besides, Bryce Perkins makes this team a lot better, and Bryce Perkins is maybe the reason why you may be able to overtake Birmingham and dethrone them this year from going to the championship game. But statistically wise, Michigan won 400-295. Michigan dominated on the pass. They were almost even on the ground game, 126-130 in favor of St. Louis. Penalties killed Michigan. They had 10 to only 3 for St. Louis. Michigan had 23 first downs opposed to 16. So time possession, almost 10-minute difference in favor of Michigan. The one turnover there. But Max Duggan in this game looked real good after that poor game he had last week after Manny Wilkins went down, unfortunately, with the Achilles tendon. And of course, the Battlehawks did sign Brandon Silvers this week. But Max Duggan was 9 out of 12 for 124 yards, 1 touchdown. But he killed him on the ground. 10 rushes for 70 yards and two for touchdowns. Bryce Perkins, 21-25, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. That boy could play. Danny Etling, 4 of 9 for 59 yards, interception, a bad one. Please leave him on the bench. Hakeem Butler, a big game. Only 2 catches, but 124 yards, both of them for touchdowns. His longest was 67 on a couple of beautiful trick plays. And credit St. Louis. I didn't think this game was going to be that good this week. I didn't like the way I saw St. Louis play the last 3 weeks. I'm not sure that offensive line was going to handle the Michigan Panthers, but it did. I mean, it got them 32 points. The St. Louis offensive line stepped up. Max Duggan stepped up. And as a result, both teams are now 3-2. Michigan is now tied for first, and I'm sure the Stallion fans are very thankful to the Battlehawk fans because they're tied for first, and St. Louis is also 3-2, and they are 1 game behind now. Tomorrow's winner between Arlington and DC. Now, I thought Arlington and DC was going to be the game of the week tomorrow. It may end up being, who knows, but they have some big shoes to follow, considering how good the first 2 games were Friday and today. So we do have the doubleheader tomorrow. DC will be at Arlington. That'll be an ESPN game. In fact, both games are on ESPN tomorrow. It's a doubleheader for them. Over in Arlington Stadium, Choctaw Stadium, and at 3 o'clock, we will have the Roughnecks and the Brahmas, which could be also a real good game. Hopefully for the right reasons, though. And I have a feeling it will, because both those teams have been playing better. Although the Houston offense is left to be desired. Now, as for the Battlehawks, they'll play their division rival next week at home, the Arlington Renegades. Arlington, of course, won that first game. That should be a good game to watch. Memphis, with the big win, they'll be at Houston. And being they gave away, well, I can't say they gave away again. That was a tight game, but I'm sure Memphis would love to get back at Houston. Michigan's going to have a tough game at home against the DC Defenders. And, of course, the Stallions will be home to face the San Antonio Brahmas. So, let me know what you thought about today's game. Is it the game of the year? Was the first overtime game the game of the year? I'm going to go with the second game. I'm going with St. Louis and Michigan, because there were several lead changes and the atmosphere was just awesome. Again, to the St. Louis fans, you guys are awesome. Keep it up. And for the love of football, we'll speak to you tomorrow after the Sunday doubleheader. Good night, everyone.